country. So now I believe say the party ebesuan be afrim na omo hambo omo ho say this is some verdict to be a Ghana for a pass the amayen, because we were in an era that was highly signatured by arrogance, by incompetence, by greed, by a physical display of some way Nipa became not amenable to reasoning, common sense logic. Say, oh, you will be our sorry now, Cassetia Banya, you were deemed enemy of the state. That's right. Say, every single principle be ubehun in democracy be no ye bubu mutuguye. So Ghanaians became so fed up with the Akufo-Addo government, say they exited the government in a very embarrassing manner, olusu in the way that they lost. And to my culture, say, as reasonable men of conviction running a political institution with tradition, with one kasa with track record like NPP, no, Alaska, when you lose power, you degenerate into a phase we call reconciliation. And this Ilusu election, report. That's right. See, you don't do those things for nothing. You just try to backtrack to ascertain. Nema a course Ulusu elections. So when you get into that reconciliation phase, you don't get people out of the party, but rather you bring people on board. For the first time in the political history of this country, NPP lose political power in that embarrassing manner. And that is the period that you sack a lot of people from the party based on dissent. That's right. So reconciliation phase na omokosa nko omokwa thank you talk. I engage you never also na adan I will kill you talk. Okay. I will kill you. Oh, now Kennedy Agyapong na say for adan tokwa na bronye ne we ewie no moto ma na omo ho. According to Brian Agyapong, because omokwa kura do baby no omu yi Kennedy Agyapong si kwan so. Ye candidate si kwan mu ja no hokoe. Basi tu ja no. So Alaska, that tells you say there are internally the party are fractured. Okay. It's broken. Relationship and your papa. And as good managers of a political party, you try to, navigate and patch all these things so that you become a very united entity. Ubetimia gather everybody along. Now what they are here. But as arrogant as they've always been, that particular reconciliation phase, they jumped it over. My culture said, "This is what come na car na kwatiata amenem." A passenger car, ye car no grass a papa emoja na se fo nyina wom. We are as a sensible driver the first place to take the car to workshop. We are work cleaning and sana da kwesi station. Ba mo do mo fa car no free gata ne ma omo gino kumase amam from afro. And that's exactly what they are doing.
And the over NPP as a political party.
Yes.
Car akwahwe ase. Say the car no be kwa mechanic.
Amana fixing no. Dabi. Station amam from fro. So mo free say nipa no ma fro no mu nim nyansa nti glass agbokro mbe fro.
That's right.
And that is the state the party is in. And it has been reactionary, it has been hostile, it has been lack discipline. The party is indeed broken. And yet this is not me talking. This is demonstrated in the sort of opinion that has been shared by a lot of the founding fathers of the party. Me are sure say what here your friend say Nyahota Maklo.
That's right.
Nsama Oka is no different from Nsama Makan. President Kufuor, who is the only living person in the tradition of this UP Buzia Dankwa tradition, the only person with me I win the election among Montella Kufuor by Ayonwa. NPP no. That is not what the party is today. Okay. A party are now makase nimdifo hwan bobodia kase na say for party na wuhu ne ene ehon candidate omokope president adi ene na wuhu. Alaska. So for me, I think it's very, very disappointing. Say a democracy na degenerate into this thing. But adeba ko amanfo nyanhu ye ne say, you see, adeba ko e DMPP nya pa mo mulusu election with madekro.
This a worker.
Aye lack of trust.
Lack of trust.
Yes, amanfo nyi omundi. Now Alaska wo di mfie nwotwe bo boss ankwase akro no we ya. You think people will believe you so easily? The bomb mine from the ton mine japade ahye ye wo fase ne ye nananom nsa.
Serious.
Yes, and na kwabranete a US so omo na ma me krom omma. Ne ma me krom o.
Ne papa krom.
O se omma one Ghana fo atweaman so se ya so baba o se me ma. On the chrome, ne ma ne na busi for Hano Mufri.
The person me American.
Yes, baby, when you know three. So Alaska, that is how embarrassing it is. So adia man for nijidie wom a lack of trust because first is no muhu ye ombe show ye arrogance. Kasafi, Kwasi Akro no ne saa nneɛma no nyinaa no. They're the same people hovering around. So as a reasonable, intelligent party, what you do is try to bring on board candidates here. Ebema amanfo forget what happened under Akufo-Addo. Ababaye a dark spot on our democracy. People don't want to remember. But if you handpick individuals who within the period cause mayhem, distraction, Kasafi, Abrababone, you're saying temperament here, I am childish temperament. Alternatives are be any reasonable. And now some economy no koto gatam no. The same individuals now sorry and say any party anymore. Then it means Ghana cannot trust you.
Okay.
If you go to the leadership in parliament, it's the same thing. After your mark in that hostile way, and it minim adibi se wahua. Mahama bedi o man so anya hwe watwa wane ye o. Watektanti obia. Sabi animonyam ne niema bia wuntimi mfa ewa Akufo-Addo aban num no wontimi mfa ma meka no enti na meka sa me candidate o mo atwa o mo ho ahia nyina the default presidential candidate a won shada nya no ho asem bebre enka Kennedy Agyapong.
That's right.
Because he was barred from the establishment and on so watie na me tie na che oyobi a the convictions are quite clear. Person of principle, corruption or more can you get any issue are involved in. So on na yo obi a sabi senka MPP no nya de yababe hu ene yanka omunya o say yehena he's somebody or your distance away from all that has happened. So maybe he will be appealing to Ghanaians, and to certain extent he will appeal to Ghanaians. But last kabada sorry I say your friend say Kennedy Agyapong so president daddy. Kennedy Agyapong.
His Excellency Kennedy Agyapong, I still don't PhD.
Alaska.
Are they?
Me say sometimes Ghana for the emotion ke kan sem hunu na se for and on the line of politics na ba ba na wa born e bra and na wanya ne sika na wa say Alaska maka cho say una wo sika dan manyo na video bia o.
That's right.
In politics and governance, and that is what people should understand. Una wo sisi abrosan tata so 40. Ohia ni onam kromanya na fidi no. Na ba bia nra me da wona ma me dan dam. So we don't give a damn about you and your money. It is about leadership. Obia obetimi exhibit your friends saying leadership ideas bebe betimi transform your mind no. Somebody with good temperament, somebody on through childish tantrums, somebody betimi friends say hey and this for say kokontokwa no de akire. So no na beka
I declare war.
Ye fra no anadwoni yeshia he we say kwatake omo. So if you can be used so easily in this particular manner, somebody who cannot even keep quiet and keep secret, NPP for can me go reveal secret. Now we are president, do you know the secret you will learn as a president? And ubufua ko share ni nyina. Can you trust that person? The presidency, maybe people think it's a joke. It's right. Not a joke. The last time I told you, one of the American president can say, Obey American president. You go through the inauguration, you know.
That's right.
Your mouth that your friends a nuclear code near my secret in as a form. Oti and some he asked for a vacation. Cause he learned secret and in life and that secret, and that is the a minor ye a secret.
A minor crack.
Yeah, good. Oh, that is the right way. Alaska.
Right.
Now, Obia asema ba. Mesa asema na hunya. Na no back and forth na attach ya. What asema okaye? Attach ya kai say no sia na Heathrow Airport. Na asem bi okafa Akufo-Addo hom. At this level, you do that? At this level? Alaska met me no wanya asem at this time.
That's right.
You bet you be total enemies. Bankoma me no word in the past.
No, not at all.
Remains in the past.
Not at all.
Because some about one thing some be can and nyansa ni bia bekasa me nim nyansa because I didn't see and me free say wrong. I should have said it at the time.
That's right.
Nti sa nneema we nyina demonstrate adwen a emu ha.
Adwen we na be di.
Yes, adwen we. Adwen tena TV so ka kira amamfo say Mahama nim nyansa na amamfo nkonko hye ne dan Akufo-Addo yenko hye asedu nkatia dan keka nsem hunu ayiyi ema afia so asene guy ni see ni video ni sex videos and then not social media ne Tracy Boache to ma na omo ho ka say Mahama ene Tracy Boache na awo
serious
President Mahama ne obi na awo when you could not even ndi wakeka sa ase bia nkwase asem we nyina aboabo no be ye president a wenya tumi no nipa dim de obetimi aka
I declare war
ewefo ya chi no ko she ekula mo se ni diabetes aba Makacha said these people who talk wow like this, they are all cowards. What I say? Ndi Maka say, For Kennedy Agyapong, he would have been a perfect person because when Africans said, "Well, yeah, probably or tough."
That's right.
That is why Rawlings always and always, when they come to Rawlings, I'm very biased because I like people who can exert power, authority. Who say yes,
very ruthless.
Yes. Because the black men, we are very dangerous people. Sa nyame beye na sa menuano sa nsem hunu yam fa mu black man. Black man will be at no man who say consequences or din nsem hunu a masa on fa hotototo. So I like people who are able to exert power. But no say I was saying no what demonstrate say the emotional intelligence and the emotional competence about me they navigating around power no he doesn't have it. Onu nya asem se see a wom and I ever time mind that and people go about the greater strength industrialization what see a dynamic say okay that's fine. What the MPO asem for so how many years? More than 10 years. Now presidency we pass here for now way na say net here.
Senado to me didi a.
Men so metimi adibi. That aura of respect ni hobiem. And a Ghana for so I don't know so emotional and ansem hunu nti no na ya badge so na president. No, the presidency goes beyond that. It's not about money. It is about somebody who can be able to demonstrate wit, demonstrate some in. You see, power now is a concept that needs to be studied and understood. So Ghana for now do not the dynamics of politics, governance, leadership. I'm not sure that we'll be having this particular conversation. But I said, Mr. Aura no about form. That aura no ni hobium. And you know, be that sorry no or nyan. But I the common basic way. Alaska. I did find a common sense. They say you're very expensive. The last time, but then the didn't my friend a common and just a boo.
Okay.
The fact that they say common sense that means that it's available.
Okay.
Common sense, say nyansa for nyina tenasia. Now you can't say the common position we all take. This line. And the money common sense, common to all reasonable men. But it's not say a boo. This is a deep education. Yes.
Rewind the track.
Me say you can't common sense.
Okay.
And this is a boo obia wobio. No. Asemba na ye can. Now what's the nyansa for table who say omonchiro omadwen. The common position they will take. That is the common sense. So it's not common sense. You can't common sense. It's common sense to everybody. No.
Okay.
And you're available to be very expensive.
It
can only be expressed by reasonable men.
That's right.
That is the point about common sense. Alaska, we were in the country. People were even calling for coup d'etat. Ghana for became so hostile and they wanted the government to go.
Okay.
At that time, a cabinet minister came and told us, say, "Mo hotel na mo se mo boka na meto because me call Bill Gates mo nyesika." Alaska. Na kraketwa kra odi ne ma me achie ko school na ma me aso no sa wato e mo agu ye fa ne say. I don't know. Take away. Flask. Full flask mu. Or kra be yes am kra sem way.
A cabinet minister.
Also about to Abanye Japade in the company because why I'm not just looking at all talk, but I'm looking at the time what was happening in Ghana.
That's right.
And the fact that Akufo-Addo head was on the chopping and do better MPP for can say MPP Lucy and Agyapong can be
exactly
because or Ghana for before the because that wasn't the point to be having that conversation. I buy no why time at the time. Also better hotel.
Theo, we are part of government. Hotel no so ye abindia. What say abinding to me and manage it to better.
So when you scratch
so what is the essence of you being in government?
Alaska, the same gentleman was involved in that. Yawaso West Wagon. I shoot to a man for one of the gentlemen. Ya born in name order. So
no
Academ. Brian Champong. Be seen no one to me know about that particular thing. Now we refer Greek ministry. Then the course.
That's right.
MPP Efra Banso. Na ye de ka aduane obro ye de ECOWAS ka abro ECOWAS cocoa board. Cocoa has always been the backbone of Ghana's economy.
Serious?
Cocoa near the ka 400 tons Akufo-Addo ko na samre na cocoa board e she agric ministry say nene ye free ho
our finance ministry.
Yes. Brian Champon track record ni o Answer na obebe na ninu no kra de ye no body o body e wo ye fence ministry kwa banche ne mpata oton banche ne mpata
so no kra po no contest 2023 so be the president emumpa
oton banche ne mpata so do mpata anwene do ya na ye da pata to so ama e na oton no ministry. These are comic characters who reduce governance into a joke in this particular country. And also be the president, because when you sika, and these people, the funny aspect of it, almost say sika no nya no here na ni buafu.
That's right.
But in governance in Alaska, where you got your money, you need to tell people where you got it from. Because uba be your money, people must understand that there should be that clarity.
A source of words.
Ofa Elon Musk na dey be general say wetimi a kire say me campaign na ma wa we choose running mate no Alaska wetimi choose heba
na problem no any arrogant.
Okay.
Na psychiatric issues. And also catch in the place the problem no any arrogant, yes. But a psychiatric issue.
And then all cancer and say mama nchiro mu denti all cancer.
Okay.
Denti all cancer and say Alaska enye deliberate no ye a naturally accustomed kind of thing. Okay. Because mama fa nko Kumase the biggest day in his life, political life. Bawumia se na nimu wom away akọ. Alaska.
When an individual is arrogant, he has something behind him.
They talked about the fact that Napo, the vice presidential, was arrogant.
I spoke about it on television. I told Napo that his problem is not arrogant. It's a psychiatric case, and he needs attention of a psychiatrist.
Yes, Alaska. It's true. Who said? Maybe I shouldn't say, but who's that? What's not a fear beam growing up? Now, I say, Josie and Kawasem, that kind of way now. You feel that you are better than Obia.
That's right.
And you grow with that mindset. And you don't learn how to speak. You don't know how to argue. Because you see yourself that you are better than other people. So whenever you are supposed, so who grow up, a chinjen sa, and seminar when I'm for an HAP to accept other people's view, look beyond one opinion and ascertain the Obika, then within you draw a conclusion. But growing up, if you think you are better than Obi, and Obi can't better, so you grow in that and become part of you. Naturally, you may not intend to, but that is how you have become. That is what you have become. So it's natural. You can't run away. That is why he says a psychiatric problem. So it's not like Washada. And now I'm 424 kwaje mic back up. Adam okoye. I say akufo ado amamu no nim se nyansa ni bia o ma.
Serious.
Ade we akora keto a okura mo de ne maame achi ko school ba kan se mo.
Akora keto e
yakoto mo amana. Ne maame aso ne sa de ni twa kwan. Alaska ba kan se mo kanokre.
Eje na ponu ya titi na yenye no.
Alaska ende ushia na wabisa no. And for me, I think that is the kind of incompetence I can was him. So Bawumia so no ne de say Alaska, this is a gentleman who was out there can some about the economy. So open a period in the history of this country that the economy became so tumbled, so dirty. So where the better describe it. It is the tenor of this gentleman. So the question is ne huo bufuo ebi na man for the koto about the way the manner they did. Okay. So there na all the bafufro aban de oba ba kuna ulusu uba mienu na ulusu. Yes, naturally nyina nipa da se na Alaska you go back. You learn and come back. So within this period no na ye move free so wakokusua de nti oba back. Na also the policy be Bible nti on say obefa Christopher do makọ Israel.
Odo mo be kọ Israel.
And am catch say akwa no incompetence no enya agodie na bom ade a engrave in his heart. Oh yes.
I want ni DNA.
Alaska. Na baby a Ghana for aba beduru a enkramofo kra de no ye mu binu me ka ye nkwa nkomunyi mfiri ho. Because I'm against this nonsense of yam for man sika ne fan sponsor am for no mo nko meka. Obeba na ne batifie adwuma kro onya bi nye. Ne ba nam adwuma kro onya bi nye. Na papa na watam no de na ko meka na waba ne ba nya adwuma nye no. Na nyansa ba na wom. Enti me principle ne say it is the belief of enkramofo say you need to go to Mecca.
That's right.
But enkramofo na ka kire say obi kwa do kwa enhira nim.
Esa.
Oh yes. Enti wan kasa no unuru ho a mempere nko. Sika na aban de be yesa na ma no Alaska yemfam bie scholarship scheme e wo zongo me say I know a lot of intelligent young people within Zongo. Omunya sponsorship and come to medicine. Oh, baby.
Now, the way they are very intelligent.
Yes. But yeah, this is kind of a man, papa. Where this is the years on come camera. No, I got to play more about Ubikra. I want to kukunu or Mabia.
That's right.
Over banana bano, that's what it. A Jumokro Yabinya. And your mind, why will you do this? Let us do it in such a way. Oh, no. No, no, qua. Fine. Yaman and co. No, mine is Sicano. Young fan supporting them, and then your friends are programs are. Emma Monfonia Jumaye. Me, that's my principal position.
To Wasia, I buy no and say. She can't go back investing into that. You're investing into the development.
Yes.
This Zongo community.
Yes, because I'm my whole crime. Your friends are your constitution article 17 down was what. You say discriminate. And my whole crime say, baby, I buying the free say. Obet me taking policies for social, economic, developmental reasons. You know, you can select a group of people, target them with development. That is why Kwame Nkrumah selected Northern Region more scholarship at the time, just to balance it.
Okay.
So some of these strategies in there, you bet me they Zongo communities, making sure that there are a lot of intelligent people within. I bet they are supporting you more. Alaska, and this about Bawumia ban no so say, or the your friend is saying,
Christopher,
or they are Christopher qua.
Israel.
Now even and come for no call more me sure say I buy the tia ni nyina de mo and say a subsidy and the womb.
That's right.
A subsidy na buy here. But who create impression say oh ba be fa Christopher do mako.
Na Israel na kasa komo asunjo ho.
Na no okọ Israel efie bia be hia bia o bom shelter wa hia. O muti kum no makwa kwacha ase. O man no. And Alaska, you see, we should not be doing these things. Look at a Christopher population more chroma saying. Now a buying decided say or sponsor more. Now or subsidize the crowd. That's subsidy. No, do you know what that money can do in this country? What are seminars? So this is not time to be advocating. Wo ba come with fresh ideas at Ghana for some. But you know say Nipano. The value is the same. On society, a dream bia mekan ho is the same thing. And I am madam for adutwim. On the makase adu an conference. Enya adutwim. Adutwim. Alaska. On the Pentecost of one corner born a deacon on the Bible. Oh no go preachy. He's a nice guy. And I think so I can't obey me nyame. And the president they don't forget to cry. Oh. Alaska sembe na okay. I do him there. Obokwa ko hia na Sunday no kura Bible na ye fo o preach na obetimi atwe akra bebre. Na president there ye kwada adwene ho he fan. Alaska. And I'm catch as a presidency no. Akufo ado ba bi o. Wa ya manimunyam na ti say tram. Eni ho biem. And anybody at all wetimi obobo ska na kakra bi asara me so person me the president. Devoid of anything. You understand? So for me I think say in as much as it's an internal party NPP na nkasa structure to do whatever that they want to do no. Me problem ne say 2.3 party no I lose in the way. Okay. Is the reason why you see these characters because ordinary Kennedy Agyapong and co okojina vet na say nko pam no kura free ho. And the catch as a council of state acquire vet na Kennedy Agyapong pass a vet and be as a council of state no we dey nkora na mpanimfo. Because we are follow Ghana politics. Now we nim niam akoso okroma say we sit and say a party already no party na nkasa na manfo need trust wom party na nkasa integrity dada. Now we here to rebuild yourself no. We say Kennedy Agyapong a candidate. But Champion a candidate. Alaska, we need to get serious in this country.
I do him.
Ever be the president will Kroma say. Na education ministry go wonder man ko si saying. Oh what I say.
Also was coupon akasimi no.
Oh masa. Oh masa. Oda mo mu fura broche baba ke kan do story. Yante Kroma na omo mu twi taxi driver catch some your doctors some chira dey university. Ekosi saying. Ekosi say o Kroma saying.
Okay, Kennedy Agyapong.
Kennedy Agyapong dey maka.
That's right.
Me said I need no one some money because me I like the way in the politics.
That's right.
Or tenasina or can adwen. And that is a fact. It's unfortunate that he meddled in the last administration in as a forum. But Alaska, a person of conviction is a person of conviction. Me, that's my point. So for him, Uhuna, clearly, or demonstrating who he really is. You may disagree with him, baby ujina. Politically, you may belong to different way. But when you see him that you've met a person of a principle. When the way. That's what I'm telling you, sir. Say MPP is serious power be no more pay. Now they want to distance themselves away from previous happening. and that gentleman should be the natural and the default candidate to lead the NPP. But that is up to them to decide, especially at this time. The Ekosi, what is Obikurabo needing, oh baby? Because it is for the highest bidder. A man for Bejijo Musika and Sikano said a man for Wubi. Yeah, we are good them. Yeah, Babeche. Now in Sri Lanka, Messe, Ghana politics, Sikano, Alaska. So, offer quite money who we are. Nyankopo beje fruisam.
That's right.
Because Ombeko primary so we no. Na Sikano mu we go dem no. Almost be 50% watch am Ghana for na. And ombeje. Omoduma so amonye. Oh yes. Ne ante kroma na body so president edi. Na Alaska in your widest imagination nya se bia dam na beba team akwa we ade oye de na beba team so president edi. Enti se Sikana was say good dem no. Nyankopo be fa kwan bi so am was say ni nyina ma delegate am omoaje. And sincerely, what is it's a natural order. You can't do anything away from it. So for me, Sikana Mosasa, no, I'm going to Magana for no munya bindi. Na presidency there, sa nipa we omodi omu because the best person among them will not even cross maybe 10% in po. Because omunya hu no, because oni sika okwa. So they will go and vote for the same candidate and they will be humiliated because my culture said the basic issue with the MPP is trust.
The basic issue with them.
I trust you. How I bet you are convincing Ghana for?
Mami.
Ube win election. Oh, what fair ye? Obon se Sikana. Uwa baimu. Ufa kwa mboni sunya yeno. Udi nini na ya campaign. Wapu omani kalabule. Mboni so. Aji omani sika. Edi asho nkwa nko toku. Election ube di nkunim. MP ni wa wini ya wiye. Bera shepo na wafa. Ubon se Sikana ubu abu anua. Omana diye na afa kwa mboni so fa yeno. Na ushi yegu. Udi ya campaign.
And then the money.
You obtained the unjust enrichments you will use all of them for up and coming president.
And the prophets will come and tell you, oh, you have won the election.
Oh, your excellency.
Oh, up and coming president. Oh, your excellency. And you feel pompous. You feel on top of the world. And you are pumping money to your campaign. God said, I want a certain prophet who will prophesy to this person that he will win the election. Even though he will lose, I want the prophets to prophesy to him that he will win. And all the prophets will come. Oh yes, you would win. It is possible. You will win.
FM 92.3.
Obi a no was so eja asia so forces so mo corrupt. Na Kennedy Agyapong tena TV so ka say onim sofo bi a wakunipa and all that na sorase besinne ontimi mo so for krodin. And this is a very serious allegation.
That's right.
Yes, all of us didn't like the way a man asafo ebunu operate because some have been a scam and asafo no, but the very people he was attacking no one na mai na yeshem command
and Bernardo said that to say
na lamfo no.
That's right.
Alaska enti our whole rights obey. But element of consistency in leadership is very, very, very key.
Right.
Oh, baby, binti all of a sudden in the wajibi atom. Alaska, can you trust such a person and hand over this country? I can't just say Alaska. The most dangerous thing to do is to arm a fool with political power.
Arm
a fool with power. He becomes very dangerous not only to himself but everybody around. I can say Obia. Na dwan tia fa so a oni ne tifie na wakoto tu abato ne dem ofri za hwanti na wakoto tu no
anya mo
yes dam na come off tu na wa wo hobia no enti Ghana fo beto tu de abema sabi obi adwene betima tia fa so amana na ne bufu no kotam tu na Alaska we need to get serious. May I say these things without emotions so me I don't care what.
2.3 me dindi acrobato me a businessman at the same time so me sanso ye actor me nyata mpo ena makwara sabia akohwe me mpom dimu ekosi se dakro me ni me business for ehia ye meeting prekope me call off me unhwi bio mani so temi no na mo banahin specialist hospital wow emfidie ni machine sa hodo na mu say yes hospital ebidi de biachi.
Yeah.
Hey, na den e ko so amani agi say.
What's in so when I think it try no Vicky pass papa. Even mathematics onya A1, science A1, social studies A1, English language A1. Wa pass ankasa.
Hey, na school ben no eni omo ya de.
Only believe senior high. Woman man kenya crowd. Teachers for no woman penny papa.
Hey, me buy ko tro ne de enye kura o. Hey, mass nya.
Faniko only believe.
English ya nya.
Faniko only believe.
Science so enye kura.
Oh, Mr. Faniko only believe senior high. Omo ya courses ni nyina. E penny for sister banchinya. E jana chire. Abofra no de sister ni tia bon na wo hu hwe a. Faniko only believe. Afi omo mo chiro so hwe ni nyina pa. Menua, am afra no ya da cho. Hey, BC so hwe omo mo chiro ye. Say wa pass yo, say wa pass yo. Faniko only believe. Na ze sia me ni we ka say no. Womo bia admission a womo chim.
Emma MP no eba noma Mental Life Capsules wono nomwa eyisa sichire mroso de nyina efiri honom Emma omoja nom eda krojin ebusi ye libido FDA approved all our social media platforms TikTok, Facebook and many more. Your number no 055 66 68 95 1. Yeah, food delivery.
Right, I'm sure welcome back live on the radio on 92.3. And Ghana for Nakasa and I'm pimping my sign and your answer T. Bomadi shall do messages 0541825106 0541825106. Na yabejibre na yakinka ni nyina so ama na bibia so ayekama pa. Na maminka won so say jumedie we yes from live or your social media handles ni nyina so it is oba no wa join oba tapa eba center say en kan kire wo say you prostrate anyhow we dwon so wote yaw anampo dwon so no say ba na kam no anyhow we dwon so hu moja ewo musisi yaw ya wo down to me na prostrate ebon kai friend 0553 800678 na wone no twetwe conversation no
the experiences of political parties in this country, maybe in terms of policy, the party has realized very often someone for a party executive. That's at the same time, there is always a clash.
Okay.
And very often, the allegiance will tilt toward the government job. So whenever a political party now dormant, because say Obi, your friend saying party general secretary. Now you're appointing as a CEO of a particular company. His mandate will definitely focus on the executive job now, and rather it means a party role will not be looked at.
Functioning.
So whenever Hosono, not a buying with fledging, but the political party as a vehicle, the party never kwakwaji abayano. We know bubu.
Okay.
And I think that 2016 there was a problem. There was a strong government and there was a weaker party.
Very well.
So I don't know the day. The government will not go for power. It is the political party that will go and fight for power. So that's why if you want to argue from a policy wise, your friend saying this may be Bekano, are you sure you get enough from to build the party? No, that is the question you should also be asking yourself. What I say, but all team Biko now things it is the experiences of the past. I anti a lot of political parties over the years. So if the party has decided to define rules and set these boundaries are very, very consequential. Say who's who knows far-reaching consequences rough. What set that guideline every horn? The question is choose back. That's all by mu and answer about party. And the question is it going to be a dear for the future? Nasa party no opposition. Nasa a man for bre. Nasa omo executive. Does it mean that omo nya appointment ana? What? Because if a guideline has been activated, it means at any point in time there should be a clear distinction between government appointees and party executive. And this is a party executive. Nasa me boama party about power. Media say sa buy number power we are. Because of this guideline, it means to me, do I need to resign?
You have to.
So I think that you see, these are aspects that has not been discussed properly.
And Yatisha Bebrina are trying to head to court.
Oh, and I say it's within everybody's right.
To seek for interpretation.
Yes, it is within everybody's right. But things like this, it will be very difficult to win. And there's it's very difficult because what will happen is that maybe the party as a political party will have to look at the decision again. Because in say a guideline principle I da Alaska you can contest for general secretary in the upcoming election. Say party never power 2028. The question is based on this guideline you cannot be part of government unless you also resign your position. So that means obia a president by appointing in the next election. Executive you be post be automatically so mokoto aba. And because automatically because you cannot assume a dual role per these guidelines. Just like today. Oh yeah, these are issue I want for nim ko ho. Say am no say. If you take somebody like Sami Jamfi, he is the communications director of the party.
That's right. Playing
a dual role as a CEO.
Good board.
So per this guideline you can say in the next elections Alaska obey NDC communicator and as a communication officer. Nasa obo as a party the power in the next way as amre no na post no fe na watwa be 1 year o ayama we na it means say aban ama otumia because what about your party na power then we roll no as we no esa wo de to ho
na me kwaje aban
there so what it means nka ye kan opereado Sami Jamfi hwan obia will have to resign as executive of the party and then focus on their role. That's what I'm saying, sir. This is something that need to be looked at properly. Now we define now we need long-term consequences and how I able to me I infuse you into the party larger objective. When you go to the political angle, there are a lot of people be out in the meaning and as a foreign the political capital other stuff. But me, I'm looking at it from a policy angle.
That's right.
Sir, our advantages and our disadvantages and how I bet me blend the two no and the better kwan fa so obunya so mfaso because so why you careful nipa na all ba position na no as an executive no so no it will have a decision to make going forward when aban to make power biema what are some American no because when the president is coming to make an appointment it immediately become defunct and this time round we want to build two separate structures. The government will be visible, the party will be visible, and they'll work together. So, do elections are, and yes, I'm way na yeko chesi among for one campaign. Party now rather than on the structures or other because I now party officer who be out.
That's right.
So it means the party is becoming what different. So if you use this analysis to explain this, I think that it will make sense. Rather than say we jana bear one cash and found say. Then
it leaves room for speculation.
And some political twisting in as a form ironclad way. But an institution and a political party like this, always there must be a way around.
That's right.
Because you must also be looking at your best assets.
But the NDC is not an autocratic way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that flexibility.
Yes, but because if you do it ironclad, yes, you may achieve the larger policy objective by dividing roles, making sure, and it makes sense. It's reasonable to divide roles. But if you're not careful, you also lose your best lieutenant. You leave them out. Because there are just imagine say Obite Sami Jamfi want to go communication again.
Gold board.
Sami is a best bet when it comes to communication.
Sure.
So say Mrabi say Ohana like who did the buy now. In as much as he will stay in his lane, you also deny yourself a certain competence that would deserve. What are several American? So there are several room that has to be explored. But to take absolute position, no way. Sometimes when we have a critical, you can create exceptions around it. Some few position. But for me, in a broader policy angle there, it's reasonable.
It makes sense.
Oh yes, because so we Chroma in 2016. You saw that clear distinction between party and government. Area na government party na ira party. So maybe it is at that background and a party decided say going forward, we need to separate these two institutions. Now you're making sure say you build the government iron solid, you build the party so iron solid. Because I can't tell say you need the party as a vehicle in good shape to be able to win power. Sa dia na NPP for ntimi anya ene omonam de omonam mu hoyi. Or party is an essential vehicle. Want to be coordinate with the party ni ama two nan senkia. Whenever hosono, one kasa o party for grassroots than betu about yaw. Because why? Because there is a gap between government and party.
So Meti was very well.
Okay.
Once as it stands now, most of you have a regional chairman be you appointing CEO. Yes. Regional chairman be a regional minister.
Yes.
So that role now was play nanka all the time biano anka was information dissemination.
Yes.
If maybe region ever constituency as an ever branch, you know, because or no so why very like why assuming that role into no information into me flow.
Yes.
So party nanka say nim ne ekoso.
And Alaska, looking at how me tell you see the word consequential. How because of how consequential this particular decision is, you know, I think say Esanka Eco Congress.
That's right.
Now any prospective effect in the future.
But it shouldn't be fake.
Not suddenly now.
Okay.
Because Emrano is applicable in the next election. Unprepared, taking everybody by surprise. The question is a consultative process. No, people are shocked as a for them. But as a policy wise, it's reasonable. It makes sense. It preserves the party. It will make the party strong and very visible, and to be able to do the job as a core job as a party. So the party will be running as an institution. But the thing is, say one man a prospective touch and a prospective effect. Now we're sliding into operation right now. What it means is every single executive previously and as a hold the position and President Mahama appointed and now say I buy no what 3 years ahead into none of them bit me resigning. None. Unless we are more French position. Because there is no way Samuel will resign.
No.
There is no way Georgia Pareado will resign.
Right.
There is no way Juan B. Nipano Basintele will not resign. So I know the day automatically you cut them off. But AB and Swana, you need the expertise and the experiences of some of them to be in the contest. What does American?
Right.
So I think that looking at how consequential it is, it's something that should have been adopted at Congress. Now maybe this election would have been over. So going forward, then we set that guidelines.
So it shouldn't be said. Was it take it off?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. Because of how maybe I'm for fun try.
That's right.
Very very consequential. And looking at the consequential effect, we say the city and Intino, maybe Congress would have been the proper place for its implementation in a prospective fashion. At this guidelines, there is a way we better fuse the government and the party together in a way.
That's right.
And must still party will be effective. You understand? But unfortunately, because of how some of the roles are, Alaska, you can't come back. And look at the party. So it means you look at those positions. You think they're very sensitive. Maybe I wouldn't because of pressure and as for a that person cannot continue. So you can ask the person to resign, continue, and then you hand over this position to another person. That can be done. But Obama, Alaska one way I'm telling you.
You want to me type of chairmanship.
I say exclude. Say if this thing is anything to go by a party executive decision, but I don't know what actually informed this particular decision. But for me, looking at how consequential this decision is, I can't say policy wise it's reasonable. That's but how consequential it is, and maybe there should be some discussion around it just to create certain element of flexibility. Say, but yeah, you not end up throwing everybody off board. Because when you're careful, you will lose your best arsenals. Or the contest in the next election, and that will make the party also ineffective. But in terms of job wise, also be a juma defined.
That's right.
Let's gel to make sure that we build a stronger party. Because I think the mistake I tie in with Krumha. Yes, I didn't say party by power pet. Na party na shall see woo. Because Obako party office no be any.
Oh, and national headquarters.
Yes, Obi any ho.
Regional headquarters.
Yes, Obi any ho. Because Oko Ashanti regional. Your friend is saying chairman or but secretary no my regional
regional minister.
So how many times no call regional. So these are genuine sentiment that you can express. Because in an attempt to build a stronger party, you might but me say nipa na okono, why not look for replacement?
That's it.
What I say? Nipa na okono, why don't you look for replacement? Because also onye bone e na ban e man to me. Because they are there to serve for the same purpose. What I say? Because nipa na oye aban nipa enye nani na brade enye ono na appointed ho. Because like Samija before he was Juma. So in his absence, somebody can replace him. that person will be visible on anybody lazy in terms of party work as a forum. What I say, but this exclusion in there, Alaska, were a lot of consequences, both good and the other side and bad. And I think that the party leadership will have to just look at it properly and situate it in the way and create uproar. Man for so looking at the other side because say no, me. I just spoke about the policy aspect, but out there people are not talking about policy aspect.
That's right.
People are looking at the dynamics in terms of politics. And I want to hear break, because some people are looking at from a certain angle, say a Nkrofobisu agenda, and Obisu agenda. Now, just rough tactics by elimination, that kind of way, So within the political realm, there are a lot of saying explanation and opinion, and you can't begrudge anybody. So you understand? I think this is something that should be handled well, because one way it will end up coming back to haunt you as an institution.
Right. And that was Ivan J. Innocent Kasa, or your researcher. So and also a policy analyst into one send with me digest the issue no dia maye. Now Enoch Edwe fi Asamanka say wo wa kire bere a akasima makoma kwadu no abiesa na nonum abo na Enoch say ochina NPP amanyoko no ekwakoyi kandinia obedi wo manim 2028 na wasandi party na kwakwahwe ho ewo 2028 nim na ohwe John Dramani Mahama memu pa obu na egurade de obebe bia ne tubetwi.
What they don't realize in this Alaska MPP problem, no, it's not about candidates who lead them all. It is a bridging that trust abroki.
Okay.
That trust na asatano. They must begin to amend it. Sebaya Ghana for can once again can connect to them. This is what I say. Ghana for cannot connect to the party. There are instances they may have the new consent to express. But I'm for say na mo pension se muru be na mudi. People are not ready to engage you because that trust is not there. And that is what they must seek to build rather than this throwing around about candidacy. Candidacy is, you are not presenting any better alternative.
I was sure what should you do about I say Alaska, Nyanko ya do more China MPP no say I say Alaska oni nimia anani brother Mr. Godwin Doe Amable incoming consulting secretary omo 8 show no odi chadma Ivan we P4P e wo suhum ono na odi we ebaye na Chris Edwe Fitema Osalaska miji say decision na end this amanyoko no afa no eye pepe yourself ya me enim pa enti waho etize onim sese de ekono papa berenda party no ineffective enu nti wotumi ayese onji appointment bia a obetumi ahwe osi general secretary no eka say enese ba ne say omumu bi eto ase a party no be koso a aye adwuma so NDC per se aban ni party ni nyina no eye very effective Chris ono so ni dia odi fitema odi aba eno no na ose Alaska your friend me Edward Kulu okay Ivan epese John Mahama I was say Ivan John Mahama a research team na anka obua pa na anka niamaso ya ka so person obe join a team no now you're a private or your private researcher enti ope Ivan nama yeda say we should do the aba Samson Kwedu fa no amano kura was Alaska o si drivers ni the oma to fair ni mo e we kropon eko ekoforudia omo the 1 CD either account 20 Ghana aden at the Alaska catch minister so omie nani na omuku yempa ono so ni dia or the aba eno no Mystic Wonder Avoko ewo insawam adweji also MPP omo party asabi the most confused party a chese womu ni eni so ade hunu bia ai party na titi upon some say odincha de ma chairman Dr. Mark Oliver Kevo Mystic Edwefi eye insawam ena odi abaye na we should also Facebook you're live on Facebook enti na wa check ediamami I am on 92.3 and Ghana kasa ana pipi na masane don nyina nso etie Ivan, who crowd be can nafi?
Things that my men can about the press conference and I know minority.
Yeah.
And I make us say, you see, Sankrofo munye serious, and they think say we are still joking. They say Ghana for no movie, say Ghana for no mabi mo house a you. Alaska. And I find your marking maybe a baby do to me kujina. Quiet press conference back at Ghana for sudden judiciary.
That's right.
Yapam Tokono. Is it an issue Ghanaians are interested? Tokono chapter in our politics is dead and gone. Obiakran Kaini be when was the last time her name was mentioned in the media?
No.
And you think you can resurrect it with that cheap propaganda? Her chapter is gone. And then we have a new judiciary. Your friends saw a bit of judiciary sanity is now prevailing.
That's right.
The court you called a kangaroo court today can quash an election and declare your person as an MP.
And now you are saying rule of law. Now
you are shamelessly out there jubilating and insisting that rule of law has prevailed. Rule of law no one another cover by and also papa cover by because somebody decided say he will retouch the judiciary and make sure say men will begin to act based on their friends saying conviction
and within the law.
Yes, Alaska. It got to a timer. Supreme Court the ruling bar akra ketu akra onim baby a law school kwan school city mu say sabi ruling we the nyansa bia anim and they were right.
We am penfo na take this
ruling bar bonten Supreme Court of all court ruling to say nyansa ba kokura anim. Ghanaians were angry. And ninyina no na bubuye democracy no, because as long as people begin to develop that kind of impression about institutions of democracy no na wikimba because almost sorry pay womb ejabato mainum. And today so Supreme Court is giving consequential ruling affected government of the day. Now you perceive say oh yeah juma man no ruling na eba say affected your mahama because omokoto abana ebi incumbents advantage betimi ama NDC awene.
That's right.
But today you are happy celebrating. Yesterday you were calling the same court kangaroo court. And that is what I'm saying say the shamelessness on the part of these people no priceless and it's organic. Oh yes, they have no sense of shame. And to the sum of these things and Timiko Jina TV so ka say and she say no more mudi gu kwan mu no ene na ene eso aba mpaso a you are not even ashamed voicing out this nonsense. You were in power for 8 good years. You could not implement a single economic policy that could transform the economy. Now what lose what few months after economy na shas and was it policy bang.
And even economy started say you were saying say cosmetic.
Exactly. That is how inconsistent these guys are. And they tell you say and now no more gold for reserve. Now no matter say say Ghana for say professor be say ye gold reserve na swat John Mahama ye fan say we mechire bankra Mrs. Ankrofo we minim say mukosua de wonwura mo say de you say ade no so osua wie na say because of cheap politics ntino ye fa ya adwen kototwe nwura mo a wonti ase Alaska. Gold, keeping a gold in your reserve no has been one of the long standing way countries
since 1967.
Exactly. But the very moment gold taking more no, it means that you have a certain policy objective. Oko China makato say deliberately because of the friction between America and India, they are trying to do away with keeping dollar but rather keeping more gold. By the no Ghana for we don't have that policy. The entire Bank of Ghana accumulated a lot of gold in the previous administrations there. Now you need access to forex.
Okay.
And in the absence of forex, the only option you have is gold. But today there is a blend. And the question is will be say reserve no adequate and adabi because even if there is a reduction in gold amount of gold, there is a replacement in terms of forex. Sika.
Sir. Because I didn't know that hono eyesika. Tio, I didn't know that hono eyesika. Even because I will keep that reserve now. Sana be a da chibu hu chiriwa eno na ode be kwa.
Sa sika na yede import be e na edituaka. So those monies are some are held in an you have some an instrument outside, some are your friends are kept in Bank of Ghana gold. And very often you keep it at the vault. Sometimes the business keep will be Bank of England and as for depending on what you choose. But the question is that at this time, no, it's not just gold. It is gold and forex. And the bottom line is exceed your reserve limit as yenya. That should be your worry. It's not about gold, the Swati and I say gold. And because at this point, the country is trading gold and money is coming.
So let's make this clear. Your fan say your limit your fan say 4.
Okay.
And say yenya 12.
Okay.
So the 12 no. Why do we have to keep all the 12? Because the limit in your 4 now what's the remaining one you bet me the
no, we are not even depleting. Yeah. We are not even depleting. The thing is that Alaska you gold then forex. And today so go because Ghana is engaging in active gold trading, you know.
Okay.
You might not want to keep a lot of gold in your reserve, and as because you are doing active gold trading. But once you have access to forex, which is solid, which is liquid, gold and liquid, and traditionally gold in you need to either swap it or change it or sell it and get the liquid currency. And when because you want the liquid currency in any way, you might want to substitute some of the gold for the liquid currency, which is so easy to use to pay for things outside. And this all corner says gold near swat yaba from kakra. It doesn't mean so be a diana so be a men confro be so metechim. Question is reserve no a swatiana. So why will obi oya learn the TV so to sell this thing on TV? That's my worry.
Right.
Alaska, so for me, I think that omunyam for policy be ngu afe na so bamfa so. And sa go for oil na no mo my culture say it has nothing to do with gold board. The objective everything. That particular gold for oil no was a crisis solution. There was a crisis. We are not having access to weight. And through instead of say kwakoton weight, they were swapping gold for those things.
And no at the end of the day, na corona.
Exactly. But this idea of gold board is a different. It's a novelty. It's a different thing. But where people are trying to port in enra, most sami jamfia koton gold aboka. Adechi dividend na ebande now obetena ba mfie nwotwe wo hunyansa anya ade am wonya so mfa so obetena ye trema uzi and am say these people sometimes if you are not careful you might say certain things that
don't say anything. Right, I'm live on the radio on 92.3 Samray. So 11 minutes to the top of the 5 year. You be fam cause me ba sisi ya
ube win election wa fa wie obon se sikana wo aban mu wo fa kwan bone nsu nyae no udi ni nyina ye campaign wabu omani kalabule ambane so agi omani sika edi ahye onko ankotoko election no bedi nkunim MP no wa wini awie bara shepo no wafa don se sika na oboabo ano a omana de na afa
right 0303 402 and 0303 0541825106. Hello, good evening.
Honorable Alaska.
Dr. Yahuza.
Medase. Nyami shira pa obetimi afremi bebu Ghana ina mini NDC nia midi Yahuza cross men spare meeting spare into the bubble for my elite na chaiva mami na katen se nyami shan pa kuja de question regional committee osuchiano na Alaska na no assemti endi penti won say ye share in share and this we am paying for their year Alaska anka sebe a day na tini ye nya bi fanya kotoko fatu kuku asoso eti anka obieni enini so adun ni say and this simbra no no na ejuma wa braso party no nya ba bebi nse onye bebi se ani ne kwa me mensa so nya bebi ahye kofi na enu so nya bebi ahye so Alaska and then people that down one so okweku won kwedu odini na bom no bo to mini na Alaska ye kan sense no na ekwakoye wo fancy 90 krobi mesre media kamenku Alaska ye woni padu amini wie no edi adanse say ampasa ban na manejuma but we just saw the Bakuna Nejuma Papa, yeah. Me the message more mobile to Abano. One way of Papa, Mama, we good careful to tell Suma, Nipa that the Baku composition more than 30. Oh, we are when you Juma, we can stand over soon, who see some more position. Nananga Krabu Sum from one the bright from one position. Hey.
Right. Medas 0541825106 and 0303402862. Good evening.
Good evening, Alaska.
Good evening, Babi Akazofi.
Within the allergy Samuel, and the Yanko man, free some static program we are meeting in some count. I didn't let
Alaji and the Uber da Pau.
Madame, I want to have any enemy.
Never talk as of you.
There be also between Kramasi and Chiao. Alaska, Yanko on board by my. I
mean,
anyway, Juma Power, we in Juma be a be a town full, into Yanko, you will flat down for the Maya.
Amen.
No phone call at Dofum. Alaska, Yahuza, Anna may Bonabaso. Many are sending a boy who's a basso. Almost more than so much Abamano. Soon, one, some 2 years,
Alaji now, Okasofi.
Because if you could hold the Asoko.
Okay. Alaji Naminka. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Alaska.
Udini Babi Akazofi.
Within the Arumia, Mikasa Free Kupuridia.
Arumia Yanko.
Alaska, BBSU Kupuridia, being Cedar.
Adan.
Boy, be Wakoto Super Glue, your friendly Baba Watia, or your shoemaker, Kumasi Station, or the Atali, the station, you know, into Onus Niweno and Tibebia, station another. Alaska, my main call was them soon. One say, Adiana. Mpanyinfo de atu dwa no baabi wo ho eye wo hwe Ivan assembly so a yebeka se enye because of senior what discussing about Sami JP because Sami JP there they see Ghana no on no kita Ghana nti ekoye bibi se on tan position na ansa no akọ contest here the problem dey beba nti me ni ya campaign for studio a omo discussing issue there ye dey say ye betie by Alaska Mechia Commander Bilibu, incoming regional organizer. The Bio Wopia Nyamisano, and then soon I hear I should go 1 week.
Oh,
wow, down for.
Oh,
a one I ya, yeah, Frewy, yet champion for mobile
right.
Dakuji by David Dakuji by
right. Good evening.
Good evening.
We didn't Babi Akazofi.
You didn't have a banshee.
Hey!
Sammy.
That's on Yaminka, Yama Butre, why assemble Yabutre.
Nakuya the poor.
Yamiti Aso.
How about it? Obi ono bebo. Odi se we obi jama to. Obeba. Zamla na wade aba no emwa. Na je Sami Jamfi no, o ma gi party na ba power. Na tabi o wa ha. Sami Jamfi NPP ni be na be kimi no. Nti obeja ready so kwa na ye woni me bi wa CMP for no hwew wo many bre ndu manim kan tabi manya position and by force nya position a menso and menso me ma o me pre na makwese se samra no yes rewo samra ne di me dadwere hu se emwa party no Alaska enso bi time bibi ana so bi pese ye ka bibi o no kware wo ho aye ba ko Sami Jamfi ne bodembo sha we tama.
Oh, Sammy. Good evening.
Good evening, Alaska.
Dr. Mentipra, A.K. Osunuti. Sammy, Nana Chenku etie show no.
Yes, Nana Bafo Chenku. Suhum edimedimene. Alaska otio papa. Anu everywhere. Mamichi apasolo ewotiteku na mafo. Alaska. Ni Nana eye Baki. Mami amabudi di waka baby ewotiteku na mafo. Enne no wuji no. Na ochina eyina ba.
Enti moment ase so ochina ye beba.
Yes, ochina ye wo ho. Ochina ye wotete ko na 4. Enti no mumwa ye ho, mumwa mo da ye ba. Alaska ba wi ni sa Greater Accra Minister. Fantastic woman. Fantastic woman. Oh, Greater Accra Minister. Na me share the pa obotuma. Alaska ochina ekotua ba. Na ye nyina yi say ye pen kabom ewo NPP mu a nipa ba ko pe obetumi di nkabom abre NPP yem papa Brian Agyapong Alaska mukotu aba no delegate kotu aba amani pa fufuru bia there's no way in kabum ever NPP mu it be fair delegate Mr. Dami Sayem or Chinapeu delegate munkotu ma Brian Agyapong na party na yepese in kabum eba no Alaska emra emfama NPP because ye Brian Agyapong obi enu wa obeti yem papa Mahama edie so because Ejimapa opo Edimaka no there's no way yedi wenu kwa oh
yedi wenu kwa
yeah
fire burn you hello good evening
good evening Alaska
we didn't even be okazofi
from Australia ka fi ojo
okay also yanko
oh Alaska mda wa papa na share kai ko for amonya botema party executive for the coalition mra na omodi aba no a mra de ba bo se balance abe bo birumu na gese birumu aye se bi ti se shamige siru birumu se na ye de mara we ba se o aba mu no bi kure position no ba contest ti se party executive a bo se bia na mo yi aba ni sika fan we ni bo ba wi na ye no sometimes I just unity ba bo no bi so aba no kwa na abo na na ba abaji ka position but o zani na o ba contest na we ni pe na ti say level no play level na I point am obia but bi ti say me dem fit dey be what do no wa believe for phobia bi na chinta me sure can dey do cover saba back anu nche so say one contest as a communicator unko party unko ko defend party no www anu ya nya sa na tie
may I say good evening
Alaska the Don.
Yes sir.
Fantastic man, the man of the movement. Essentially, food in Alaska, the Don. Alaska, we have emergency Francis food as summer.
Jamfi Tau, Yanko.
And once Emily, I have a radio, so I make a tell say, have my uncle son on wash it, no mammy and Munyam, ne papa, the bush of food, Yan Sunny in the air, one trimun hair. A branch of it, no, you honor Casa, now what's here, Alaska. She and a man what to me, Chiana, Yanko, man, and one of them buying. Ndiye no dia anza Alaska last me ka senke se Mahama appointees ni wo mo ye mpanfo mo tap ni knowledge ni wati ase no de bo anje so mo man adumo abranche no to trans no advice no two for wala Alaska the one jima mo bra na wanka sana nkasa wo mo bra wo wiase Alaska nyankopon shira avan papa won se asem na general secretary de two jan avan echire mu he ma trans ya di ho an ma se he ade na ese mpanfo ko trans bi mu no mo san ba back what ya fe that na Alaska wo kan se ndi for ndo mo de ade ba na se ye ka ho asem mo ko mo ati no ma ko din ho de ye beboa no mo de abanti yesre se ne Friday die mpanfo no mu tie avan samishin no de abanti tire mu de aba no mo ko no mo samre bi Alaska o mele tuni na ko ponja djuma me da so
piao ebushe ha na brebe man kwan na yedi djuma de ni be si ma me fa na se fama Ivan Che innocent na wa tweye mu se eye ni Landgraf Kwansa e ba be kayensa wontumi amba but Ivan did justice to the topics maminda the entire production team no ase no kwafo ya wasi edu sanso eno niafo Alexander Kuka Meda DJ Gancho, DJ Cross, Mike Nikweni, Courage, all of them. That was it. Cranting Andrews, Yadian Quentin, Tankashi, and so. Maminchia David Dakuchi, Eastern Region Deputy Organizer, who aspire, saying, Nami Admo Beba, Eastern Regional Chairman, Naminchia Muntari Alasa, New Jaben South, who call as a organizer. Naminchia Adolfo, oh, yeah, special aid, Edima, David Dakuchi, oh, yeah. Enkoko constituency organizer na michia Equia Morino aspiring Eastern Regional Deputy Woman Organizer Shirley Nana Ampim ewe michecha munya na michia Honorable Esther Donko Okre Deputy Constituency Woman Organizer na michia Forward Agbenyezi incoming Eastern Regional Youth Organizer some year sorry so any Friday 5:30 ko concert 6 o'clock news at 6 7 share Mr. Offer Emerald what is in the box at the Ebrel. Once again, within the Emmanuel Kwesi material from Alaska, the commander with a commanding voice. Nyami Aduma Monday, Yavesensia. Peace. Shalom.